What if I told you that under the thickest layer of ice on Earth lies something we were never meant to find? For centuries, Antarctica has been seen as nothing more than a frozen wasteland, lifeless, unreachable, untouched, but beneath its miles-deep ice sheet lies a mystery that challenges everything we thought we knew about human history and even life on Earth. In 1513, a map was drawn, one that seems to depict Antarctica without its ice. Modern satellites have revealed structures beneath the ice that resemble architecture. Ancient lakes, sealed off for millions of years, contain forms of microbial life never seen before. And strange anomalies in the magnetic field hint at something artificial. Why is so much of Antarctica off-limits to civilians despite being a continent of peace and science? Why are military operations still stationed in a place with no population or war? And most importantly, what exactly is buried under that ice? In this documentary, we journey beyond the surface through ancient maps, modern science, and controversial theories to explore one of the greatest enigmas of our planet. Welcome to Antarctica, where silence hides secrets deeper than ice. Antarctica is the fifth largest continent on Earth, larger than Europe and Australia, yet it remains the most unexplored. It is a land of paradoxes. It holds 90% of the world's ice, and yet it's officially classified as a desert. Its surface temperature can drop below -89 degrees Celsius, yet miles beneath, liquid lakes exist. It is completely dark for 6 months, then flooded with sunlight the next 6. It has no native human population, yet over 30 countries have active research stations there. Geologically, Antarctica wasn't always frozen. In the Permian period, over 250 million years ago, it was covered in dense forests and warm rivers. Fossils of ferns, trees, even dinosaurs have been found under the ice. More shockingly, radar imaging and ice core samples suggest that the ice sheet is much younger than the continent itself. Most of Antarctica's glaciation happened only within the past 34 million years, a blink, geologically speaking, and some parts such as West Antarctica may have been ice-free just 6,000 years ago within human memory. This changes everything. If the continent was once habitable, then we must ask who or what might have lived there before the ice. In 1929, a group of historians at the Topkapi Palace Museum in Istanbul made a startling discovery. A map drawn on gazelle skin parchment dated to 1513, signed by Piri Reis, an Ottoman admiral and cartographer. At first glance, the map seemed impressive but unremarkable until one detail sparked a century of debate. It depicted a southern landmass where Antarctica is. But here's the real mystery. The continent was shown without ice. It had a rugged, mountainous coastline, something that matches modern seismic data of Antarctica's subglacial topography. This baffled scholars. Antarctica was officially discovered in 1820, and its interior only mapped in detail with satellite imaging in the 20th century. How could a 16th century sailor have drawn what seems to be a pre-glacial version of Antarctica? Piri Reis claimed. He compiled the map using ancient source charts, some possibly dating back to Alexander the Great's time or even earlier. Some researchers, like Charles Hapgood, proposed that the map is evidence of a lost advanced civilization, one capable of global navigation and cartography far beyond its time. Mainstream science, of course, offers caution. They argue it could be a coincidence, a misinterpretation of South America's southern coast, or stylized guesses, but the accuracy and contour and the alignment with recent satellite readings raise uncomfortable questions. If this land was known before it was buried in ice, then who knew it, and why was it forgotten? When we imagine Antarctica, we often think of solid ice unyielding, lifeless, and static. But beneath this frozen crust lies a hidden world in motion. Using radar and satellite imaging, scientists have discovered a vast network of subglacial lakes and rivers, some of which have remained sealed for over 15 million years. Among the most famous is Lake Vostok, a massive freshwater lake buried beneath 4 kilometers of ice. It is the size of Lake Ontario and has been cut off from the surface since the age of early mammals, but Lake Vostok is only one of over 400 known subglacial lakes. These lakes are connected by rivers that flow beneath the ice, lubricating the movement of glaciers and forming a dynamic system few expected to exist. The implications are enormous. These hidden waters may harbor ancient microbial life organisms that evolved in isolation for millions of years. Some scientists speculate they could even be analogs for life on icy moons like Europa or Enceladus. Most astonishingly, this flowing water may have carved caverns, tunnels, or even entire voids beneath the ice, large enough to hide massive structures. Could ancient humans or something else have taken refuge there before the freeze? And what secrets still slumber, untouched by light, beneath the Antarctic crust? Beneath nearly 4 kilometers of ice, in the heart of East Antarctica, lies Lake Vostok, a vast body of water sealed off from the surface for at least 15 million years. Discovered in the 1990s through satellite radar, Lake Vostok quickly became a scientific enigma. It spans over 250 kilometers in length, making it one of the largest subglacial lakes on Earth. But what truly captured the imagination of scientists wasn't just its size, it was what might be inside, because the lake has been isolated for so long. Researchers believe it could contain ancient forms of life organisms that evolved in complete darkness, high pressure, and without oxygen. In 2012, Russian scientists successfully drilled into the lake. They extracted water samples and, according to early reports, found DNA unlike anything known. Later, these findings were disputed and called contamination. But the intrigue didn't end. Their magnetic anomaly readings over Lake Vostok revealed unusual electromagnetic behavior, leading some to speculate the presence of metallic or artificial structures beneath the ice. Conspiracy theorists even suggested the lake might hide a Nazi base or evidence of an alien craft. While these claims are unproven, what we do know is that Lake Vostok remains off-limits to nearly all exploration. Access is tightly restricted. The data is partial, the truth remains buried. And perhaps that's the most unsettling fact of all. Antarctica may be remote, but it's not beyond the reach of modern technology. In the last 2 decades, satellite imagery, both public and classified, has captured strange anomalies scattered across the icy continent. Some appear as hexagonal patterns, geometric mounds, or even pyramid-like shapes barely protruding from the snow. In 2012, a particularly controversial image went viral, a triangular formation in Ellsworth Land, symmetrical and sharply edged, measuring nearly 400 feet tall. Skeptics dismissed it as a mountain, yet its angles and alignment resembled man-made pyramids. Another site near the Shackleton Range reveals what some interpret as the outline of a rectangular complex buried under thick ice. Radar imaging shows right angles and structural consistency that are rare in natural formations, but the anomalies go deeper. In 2018, Google Earth users spotted what appeared to be massive tunnels or entrances carved into ice cliffs, some stretching over 100 meters wide. These entrances, some now blurred on satellite platforms, sparked wild theories. Secret military installations, ancient underground facilities, or remnants of a forgotten civilization. Official explanations range from ice collapse to glacial movements, but even NASA researchers have admitted some features are not fully understood, and if these anomalies are not natural, then what are they? More importantly, who built them and when? What if Antarctica wasn't always frozen, and what if someone once lived there? Several fringe researchers and alternative historians have long proposed that Antarctica was once home to an advanced civilization, possibly before the last ice age. The idea hinges on a geological event known as Earth crust displacement, a theory popularized by Charles Hapgood. According to this theory, the Earth's outer crust can shift dramatically over a short period, repositioning entire continents. Hapgood believed that Antarctica was once located farther north in a temperate climate and was suddenly thrust into its current position during a catastrophic pole shift around 10,000 BC. This would explain why ancient maps like the Piri Reis map or Erroneous Phineas map depict Antarctica without ice. They could be copies of even older charts drawn by people who lived before the Great Freeze. Some go further. They point to myths of lost lands, Atlantis, Hyperborea, Lemuria as potential cultural memories of Antarctica. Plato described Atlantis as a powerful maritime empire that disappeared beneath the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. Could that have been a poetic account of rapid glaciation? Others link Antarctica to ancient megaliths found across the globe, pyramids in Egypt, Machu Picchu in Peru, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. They suggest these are remnants of a pre-cataclysmic global culture connected by knowledge of astronomy, geometry, and Earth energy lines. Of course, mainstream academia rejects these theories. They argue there's no archaeological evidence of humans in Antarctica, but the truth is we've explored only a tiny fraction of what lies beneath the ice. And until we do, all possibilities remain on the table. Despite all our satellites, our sensors, and our science, Antarctica remains one of the least explored places on Earth. Why? Perhaps it's the extreme environment. Perhaps it's the sheer difficulty of drilling through miles of ice. Or perhaps the truth beneath Antarctica is simply not meant to be found yet. There are persistent whispers from within the scientific community and beyond of discoveries that were never published, of areas marked off limits by international treaties, of satellite images mysteriously blurred or removed, of expeditions that never returned or returned silent. Could it be that buried beneath the Antarctic ice lies a chapter of human history we're not supposed to remember, or perhaps something non-human? Some believe Antarctica holds the final missing piece of our past. Others fear what might be unleashed if we uncover it. One thing is certain, the ice is melting, and as it does, what has been hidden for millennia may soon rise to the surface. Will we be ready for what we find, or will we, once again, choose not to see?